Tip to the wise. I know this is very uncommon, but never do a video presentation in a studio. I did my entire video right now realizing that I needed a microphone the entire time. Not fun. So today I'm going to be diving into the accreditation and what it matters in forensics labs. Um, for this specific case, it'll be like how the audits help keep honesty and accuracy in the labs. I'll be correlating that to a real life case that happened in Colorado. Again, talk about that in a bit. What happened there? Just kind of sum it up, or little pre summarization. A huge data manipulation. Basically, it like shook public trust, and this will tie into how audits and reforms basically will help rebuild it. So first things first, I want to talk about the importance of accreditation and what it is in forensic laboratories. It's basically like a lab's stamp of credibility. It means the lab meets international standards, which we've been learning about, um, for quality and technical skills. When labs are accredited, it signals that its test results can be trusted in court, which is important and very, 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 very huge. Now, one mistake in any of this means wrongful convictions, like we've been reading about in our our last big assignments, and letting the guilty go free. So accreditation shows that the lab follows standardized procedures, properly documents everything, and commits to constant improvement. Now, in my Colorado case, it's gonna remind us when standards slip, the public confidence and justice itself, it's on the line. Um, QA and QC, they're the foundation of accurate forensic work. Now, I've noticed that we've been diving really deep into this, basically the core of the class, relating it to week on every assignment that we had. Now, the best way I can explain it, QA is the plan and management side. Make sure that everything is set up to prevent errors. QC, I'd say, is like a day-to-day check where labs test samples and results, basically to catch like early mistakes. Together, they're extremely reliable on each other. Together, Q&A and QC, they keep the data honest. And correlating that to my case, which I'll talk about in a bit again, that Colorado DNA analyst, she basically manipulated data over decades. Now that QA and QC part, the systems didn't catch it fast enough, so it basically shows how important strong control and double checks are. The audit process and how it ties to ISO IEC 17025. Now, when a lab experiences issues, audits investigate everything: staff qualification, testing methods, documentation. You have instrument calibration, and how the lab basically manages overall. So, external audits are especially important. They're impartial and help maintain accreditation based off that ISO IEC 17025, the standard, which is basically like an international rule book for every forensic testing lab. Now, these standards, they emphasize accuracy, traceability, and even proper documentation. So, a little bit about the case that I found before I talk about the reaccreditation process. It happened from the late 80s until 2018. It was in the Colorado Bureau of Investigations, CBI for short. It was the DNA analyst named Yvonne Missy Woods. So she messed with data in over 650 cases. Those, of course, included serious stuff like murders and sexual assaults, etc. Now, she either left out or altered test results, which really messed up evidence and probably affected a lot of convictions. Some people might even some people might even be wrongfully imprisoned because of it. Now, when suspicions came up, the CBI dug in with internal and outside audits. They found a lot of lab rules broken, like no double checks, no messed up data, and basically not enough oversight. So, for those of you who have worked in a lab, you understand that there's not a lot of supervision. So you're basically independent. So it correlates to how these things can happen, but it's essential that they shouldn't happen. Now, honestly, this whole situation it shows why forensic labs they need super strict quality controls and accountability. Now, one person cutting corners, it totally wrecks the trust in the system and it hurts innocent people. Like I just mentioned, I'm pretty sure a lot of your researchers have shown too. Now, it's a big wake up call for everyone in forensic science and even for justice. Now, the outcome and the corrective actions for this was pretty huge, as we can assume. Missy Woods ended up resigning. Hundreds of cases now have been looked at over again because of the mess up evidence. Some people have actually been exonerated, which is, I guess, a good or a bad thing depending on the guilty or non guilty part of it. Others are facing retrials. Now, this isn't just paperwork, it's real lives that are being affected. The lab didn't just sit back, they took serious action. They completely overhauled their quality assurance system. They added multiple layers of review to catch up mistakes early. They put strict protocols in place for handling data and retrained their staff, focusing a lot on ethics and following procedures properly. They also made their auditing way stronger and more regular. On top of that, their accreditation was reviewed and it even strengthened with extra audits to rebuild trust and to make sure the lab stays reliable and moving forward. Now, this whole situation kind of really shows that forensics labs can learn and improve from big failures. Shouldn't happen, but it's possible. Now, only if they can commit to honesty and like openness and like accountability every step of the way, that'd be way better. Now, the accreditation recertification process. So, accreditation isn't permanent. Labs undergo annual surveillance, audits, and full assessments every few years, which keeps the labs accountable and continuously improving. So this Colorado case, it really shows that accreditation, quality insurance, quality control, the whole audit process, that they aren't just annoying paperwork. It's like or like a bureaucratic hoop. They're like the essential guardrails that keep justice protected. These audits they like shine a light on problems before they spiral out of control. Excuse me. Um, Corrective actions they rebuild the trust. Which is pretty critical in forensic science. Now, without these systems in place, I feel like the entire forensic process risks failing the very people it's supposed to serve. We got victims, defendants, society as a whole. Now, this case is a reminder that transparency, accountability, and continuous improvement they aren't optional. They're based. They are what uphold the integrity and the justice of our system. Thank you. Hope the audio worked.